Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. Myself and Enz are here tonight. It is Red Zone. It is Friday night, the best night of the week. That means Red Zone. It's more of a relaxed night on Red Zone. It's more, we can talk about the news. We're going to talk about football. Of course, we're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about the weekend's game against Burnley. We're going to talk about Alexander Isak making his debut potentially on Sunday as well. And the transfer news from the week. Konate, Real Madrid. That ain't going to go anywhere anytime soon. Marc Guhei potentially coming in summer. So myself and Enz, it's our first time together on stream. I'm sure it'll be an absolute a good one. So get in the comments. Make sure you do get in the comments. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And also get across to Enz on a bigger platform with Enz right now. So get across there and subscribe to his channel as well. And get us in the chat as well. Get in the chat. Also, Barry Over and Capat straight in already. Evening, Damon Enz. Big up to Enz on his channel and one of the great channels when it comes to Liverpool content on YouTube. Respect to you. But thank you so much, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone else is doing well as well. Get in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on this weekend's game and the transfer news of the week. So, Enz, how's it going?
Oh, good, man. I appreciate it. We were meant to do this ages ago, and partly my fault, just busy schedules as well. And then you went on holiday for a little bit as well, enjoying the sun, I assume. So we never really got around to getting it done, but I'm glad now. Hopefully, going forward, we should now have a show every week going forward, us two. So it should be good, man. But I appreciate the invite. Big up to you guys, and big up to the comment earlier as well. Love, man.
Thank you so much, mate, for coming on, and thank you for giving us a chance. And again, you came in the chat, didn't you? Was it about 2 months ago? Wasn't it? You came in the chat when we were live on. You came in the chat, and I thought, you know what? I knew you before anyway. I knew about you before. I think I hit you up for about something about the collabing. But yeah, this is it. This is me and Enz now. Red Zone weekly thing, maybe a fortnightly thing. We'll see how it goes whenever we're free. But yeah, we've got a treat in for you guys. So let's start with the week and the transfer news this week. I don't know how you're feeling about Konate thing because we can never enjoy anything, can we, as Liverpool fans? We can't ever enjoy anything. There's always something in the background to rock us a little bit. Konate, Real Madrid, do you think it's going to happen?
Do you know, it's so crazy because I thought Trent would have stayed as well. Similar situation, right? I honestly don't know what to say to you, right? I'm split between I think he'll leave, and then I'm also split to go, nah, man, he would love to stay at Liverpool long term and continue, the success he's had at the club. So I'm going to be totally honest, bro. Maybe I'm sitting on the fence and there's loads of splinters on here, but I honestly couldn't give you a straightforward answer what I think. Obviously, speaking to other people and listening to the comments and listening to people on Twitter and all the other socials, and everyone's kind of split. The only thing I would say is he's come out and told us that he's, stop listening to the news and stop listening to everything that you read and see and stuff like that. But at the same time, he has rejected contracts. So I don't know, and I'm not privy to the amount and the type of money that they've offered him. So, it could be like 50 grand off, or it could be 20 grand off what he thinks he deserves. But I think Liverpool should just pay him accordingly, man. There's defenders out there making a killing and not even as good as him as a player. The problem we have is, and I saw this last time when Real Madrid wanted Trent, these little feelers keep going out from Marca and the other social media platforms. And then in the comments, you've got like our Liverpool fans like really dissing him as a player and stuff like that. Because I know these type of players, they're going to read them and see them. And if, it was more positive than negative, you'd be like, okay, he probably looks saying, oh, the fans want me to stay, so I'll try it. But if he's reading it and 100 of those comments, are get him out of here, he's not good enough, why would he's injury prone, he's more so likely to go, do you know what? And obviously most players don't listen to the noise, but it's hard not to see it. They're all young players. They all got social media. They're not like the players of old where they're like, who cares about social and what? I'll just play my game and stuff like that. But I feel like him seeing some of these things could drive him to make a decision to go, in my opinion.
I said it the other night, right, to the guys. I said, look, I'd rather know about it. The Trent one obviously dragged out. The Van Dijk and Salah, we knew Van Dijk and Salah wanted to stay. They were quite public about it. Especially Salah, quite public about wanting to stay. Regarding Trent, it was done in the background. And I sort of get why Trent was quiet about it in the end, also because they knew there were going to be backlash. But with Konate, if he just came out and said, look, it's going to be my last year at Liverpool. I'm going to go to... He didn't have to say Real Madrid. He's going to say, I'm going to go for a new challenge, go somewhere else. You get massive respect for it. and say, look, right, fair enough, you're only going to do a challenge. No one's obliged to stay at Liverpool for the rest of your career. Do what you need to do this season, and then we'll say goodbye. It's as simple as that. Have a farewell sort of thing. Leave on a high.
Yeah.
So I understand if Trent don't want a backlash, but I don't think Konate will get a backlash. You get massive respect if he just came out and said, look, I just fancy something new. That's it.
Look, I think that's a possibility as well, and obviously he's won a few things at Liverpool now. So could things have changed where he's like, oh, I want to try something new? Like what Trent said. Trent was more, I just want to try something new. I want to, maybe you don't want to end your career and go, I could have gone here, I could have played for them, I could have done this, and be a bit more selfish as a football player. And I think you're going to find that a lot more now. It's not of the yesteryears where players wanted to stay and become one-man club and those accolades, like a Gerrard and a Carragher. Well, Gerrard did leave, to be fair, and went and played in the MLS and stuff like that. But like a Carragher, for an example, just wanted to kind of just be at that one club and win everything there as possible. So he might want to try something new. But I obviously, being a selfish Liverpool fan, I look at the squad and I'm like, we're improving. This team is evolving into something really special, and I don't want to lose him. And I feel like, I don't think you will regret it, because obviously I don't think any player, if you make a decision, you kind of stand and live by it. But I just look at the team going, nah, you should better off staying here, mate. I think, but that could be just selfish bias side of being a Liverpool fan. You want your players to want to be here and stay here, right? So, yeah, I just hope, I hope he stays, and I hope the club sees the benefit of keeping him, and I hope the club pays him accordingly. Obviously, nothing silly, nothing crazy, but I feel like he just wants to
high
feel
would you go? How high would you go?
I was saying this the other day on my channel. I think I'll say 253.
Would you?
Yeah, 250 max. But the way I worked it out, right? I know it sounds like crazy amount of money, but the way that I worked it out, I look around Europe and I go, how many top defenders are out there and Liverpool have the opportunity or the possibility of signing them? There's not many but there's like the Bastoni, all of these top level ones, they're probably not going to be at reach where you can go and get them. Also, look, and then I broke it down in terms of it's going to cost you a transfer fee to sign them anyway. And then you're going to have to pay them a decent wage on top of that. So I'm thinking the long-term effect is you're probably going to have to fork out more across that particular, player's contract than it is to keep a player like Konate at the football club with still a long-term prospect of him being here for long. I think he's 25, 26. Maybe the comments can correct me on that in terms of his age. But then do you know what I mean? So it's going to probably be a lot better cost effective to kind of just offer him a good contract and keep him in. Because if you go out there and you want to get you can pick name one that you think is a top level defender, you're probably looking at 35 upwards. Marc Guhei is, 35 million would have to pay anyway. So I don't think giving Konate that kind of contract is going to add up to that anyway. And, at least you've got a player that's been at the club, understands what it takes to be a Liverpool player, knows what he means. We know that he's a good defender. Obviously, he's had moments where he hasn't been at his best, but we've seen him when he's at his best. He's probably one of the the most difficult defenders to kind of get something out of during a game. So I just thought long term wise, cost effective, it is better just to give him a better deal than just to go out there and get someone else.
Evening, Prakash, hope you're doing well. Adam says here 250k a week for Konate. Now that's not worth that. 170 max. I think I said about 170. I said if he's asking for 200, I'd knock a few thousand, obviously because of his injury record. He had pretty decent injury record last season, but before that, his injury record's not good. So I'd knock at least 10, 20,000 off for me personally. Ibrahima Komate said here, everyone's subscribing, like the stream. Talking about lads provide great content. Also, if you're not subscribed to Ends already, please do so. Provides great content as well, absolutely. And this is what we do. Liverpool fans coming together as two channels, different channels, but pretty much the same ideas and same the same mindsets of what Liverpool fans should be about. But yeah, regarding Konate, he is on his day top 5 defenders in the world, but the issue is, again, like you said, is the consistency. We need to see that more often. This season, 3 games so far, first 2 shocking, third one against Arsenal, one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah,
and that if you're asking for that sort of money, then it's got to come with consistency for me personally. But then again, you're also saying that there's no defenders really out there for us to go get. Guhei is obviously number one target. I think we'll get him regardless. If his mindset's still on us, I think we'll get him for free next summer. But after that, Bastoni, is Bastoni really available to get? Will he leave Serie A? I don't know. Going past that, is there really anyone behind that? Schlotterbeck, but are they the level that we need?
Yeah,
That's the issue. Dean Oyson was the one that we looked at, but also he's gone to Real Madrid. Behind that's probably like, in terms of like elite is Saliba, but we're not going to get a Saliba from Arsenal. That's not going to happen. Other than that, you're looking at, obviously we've got Leone through the door, which is decent for the years that he was. The one that we looked at 2 seasons last season, wasn't it? Lenny Yoro went to Man United.
Yeah, he went to Man United. Yeah,
so we looked at him. He would have been a good signing at the time, but like I said, it's the lack of availability out there, and what you need to look at the whole, is Konate worth that and the fee of someone else out there?
Yeah,
it probably is.
That's why I was saying I think it would just make more sense to keep him and then getting a Marc Guhei in the building instead of then replacing him and then getting Guhei and then someone else again. So it just made more sense to me in terms of, you made a great point. When you're talking about elite defenders, I know everyone, watching and watching after, they're going to have a defender in mind where they go, oh, no, I really like this guy and I think he's good and I think, he can help, improve Liverpool. There's nothing wrong in thinking that, but it's the unknown. You don't know if he's going to come in, hit the ground running. What's his partnership going to be like, whoever he plays with? Obviously, hopefully Virgil's here for forever. But you don't know what that type of player is going to come in and be able to do. It's going to be the Premier League. So is there, the adaptation period where he might not be at his best. But then you go out there and you're going to, especially the way the market is ran now, you're going to go out there and have to spend like north of 40 million upwards to try and get a decent centre-back. And then you're going to have to pay him handsomely as well. So he's not going to come in and want to be on, I don't know, a low wage. He's going to want to come in and be on a top wage, because there's a reason why you've come in and got me as a, you're going to play me first team, or, you think that I've got the ability to take someone's spot within the team. So I just think it just makes more sense to just pay Konate. I'm not saying go out there and give him stupid money. Like if he's asking for like 4s and all of that crazy and 350s and all of that, I'm just like, okay, bro, come on, man. I hear it. But if it's just, I'd say 250 is a nice number to show him that, no, we look at you as someone for the future going forward, and we look at, we really respect what you've done and the body of work. And yes, the injury thing has always been a problem, and consistency. But when he's fit and he's playing week in, week out, this consistency is there.
One thing I remember as well, mate, is Van Dijk.
Yeah.
2 seasons left. And whoever comes in could be potentially playing with a completely new centre-back if Konate leaves. We need to keep it as... The idea is keep Konate as long as we can. Yeah. And when Van Dijk goes, at least we've got someone that's played there for a long time. Well, so if we get Guhei now, and Konate leaves, and Van Dijk's there for a season, it's like a complete new partnership.
No, so I look at the team right now. You're right. Virgil's got 2 years left. What we already started within this year now. So end of this season is going to be on 1 year left. Joe Gomez, you'd probably say, came close to leaving the club in the summer. But the AC Milan stuff, so he would have been gone. Konate, no, 1 year left, and there's no guarantee that Marc Guhei wants to come to Liverpool. Like we know he wanted to, but then things are going to change. Clubs are going to be in and around him, buzzing and sniffing around January, going, okay, what was it, 35 million? Okay, we'll pay that and get you in. Oh, what was the contract they offered you? So we don't want to be in a situation where Virgil's on his last year, Konate is gone, we don't get Guhei, Gomez wants to leave, or he's gone. So it leaves Virgil and Leone. Yeah. And then we're in a bigger problem than we need to be in. So I think I hope the club, and I trust the club to go and get these things sorted. But I don't want to be in a situation come next season where the club is talking about we need like 3 centre-backs. Like who's 3 centre-backs out there realistically we can go and get, but none of them really knows the principles of Liverpool and understand how we, what we want in a player. Not only that, you're going to have to go and get these guys, and they have to now form this partnership in one of the, if not the toughest league in the world. So I'd rather just trying to stable everything that we have. And if Konate goes, he wants to leave in the next year or 2 or whatever after that, Thank you. No problem. Then we've got time to really go and assess and get some. But I don't want to be next season. We're trying to buy 3 to 4 centre halves.
No, that's too much. It's too much. It's
Yeah.
too much change in one position as well. It's like the up forward line, like we've got Ekatike and Isak in, but we still have Salah and Gakpo been here for years. At the back, we've got Van Dijk that's been here for years. Other than that, in terms of the first team, Kirkers has only just joined. Frimpong's only just joined.
Yep.
Robbo's in and out, so I don't really know with that. And then you got Konate if he leaves. Leon is new. And Gomez, like you said, Gomez's contract runs out at the end of next season. I can't see him getting a new one, if I'm honest. So I can see him being sold next summer because his contract runs out. Would you sell Konate in January, says Brovin Kopai? No. Imagine if we sell Konate in January, right, and then we think we're going to get Guhei and Palace just pull the plug again. We're left with Gomez, Van Dijk, and Leone for the season. That would be a bad option. When do you think, guys? When do you guys think Leone will make his debut? It's already been penciled in for Southampton, I think.
Yes.
That's happened this week. So Southampton in the cup, which is in a week and a half time. If there's problem forms they're having, I'd go for Murillo potentially. There's some decent centre backs out there, especially the Premier League. But again, like Enz just said, if we're looking for 3 centre backs all in one, you're playing with fire.
Murillo is a good centre back, but I think a lot of I'm not saying you guys in the chat are doing this, and you mentioned Murillo, and I think he's a very good centre back. But also, I think we downplay how massive our club is and how heavy the shirt is of Liverpool to just come in and wear it, especially if you're not a player that's come from that level already, where, and that's no disrespect to the teams that these guys are coming from. It's just the fact of this is Liverpool Football Club. We are one of the biggest clubs in the world. And when you come to us, there's no hiding from the media. There's no, grace period. I know the club will probably give you the grace period, but as a fan, as a society, as the media, they're not going to give you that, because the expectation is if you're joining a club of that stature, you have to go and deliver straight away. So I feel like when we mention names, and obviously I respect the players and I think they're good players as well, but I think sometimes when we mention names, I feel like we downplay how big, how massive our football club is. In terms of, you just think someone could just come in and do the role. And obviously, I don't know. They could come in and hit the ground running and be great. But I'm on the line of the Bastonis of this world. That's the guy I think could come in and I go, do you know what? Whoever you want to if Konate wants to leave, thank you for your services, my bro. But off you go if that's what you want to kind of do. But all the other guys, I think they could come in and do a job, but it's very, very difficult. It is just very difficult. But, there's no wrong or right answers in this. It's just, I feel like we need to realize our club is top level.
We were looking at Van der Ven before we went to Tottenham, weren't we? So
yeah.
I think he's a very top centre back. But then, if Van Dijk does leave in 2 years, which is probably likely to, or he might get a year extension, might do. See how it goes, really, isn't it? It's like an extension, maybe like a yearly contract for him. It's just the age thing. You might just catch up on it at some point. Salah, I think Salah's going to go in 2 years, if I'm honest. I think he's going to go to Saudi at some point. But if Van Dijk does go, Konate goes, Guhei comes in, it's Guhei and Leone, and that's pretty much it. So that is it. And then next season, I think if Konate does go, I think we need to bring 2 centre-backs in, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and because you need 2 anyway as your starters, then you need 2 for the backup, so you got your 4. And you need 4 to 5 centre halves, don't you? Really, depending on. I don't
really classify Gomez as a proper option. Me, I never have done.
Yeah, because he can fill in right, left back, centre back, and stuff like that.
His injury record, I can't count on him.
And his injury, that's true. He's already picked up a heel injury, hasn't he? Already this campaign, so
he might leave. He might leave Italy though. Leone's over here now, so we could have an Italian centre back pairing.
But obviously, if the manager trusts the Italians, because he keeps leaving Chiesa out and then tell us that he likes him, but I don't know. The actions are showing otherwise, and then we haven't seen Leone get minutes yet, so I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think is going on with that? Because I was speaking about this morning actually about Chiesa, because he spoke about it this morning on his press conference, and he's saying he's not happy about, but he won't be happy about Champions League. But he's never ever. I was speaking how much of a professional Chiesa's been, right? Him and like someone like Endo, for example, so professional. They don't kick a couple first. They're just not bothered. As soon as on the pitch, they give it everything. And I can only remember like 1 or 2 bad games Case has really played. Obviously, the Plymouth one was a standout,
Yeah.
but everyone played shit against Plymouth.
Yeah.
Other than that, every time Case has played, he's always done something, or he's had an impact on something. And I don't understand why last season, like, Nunes were getting ahead of him in games when he didn't deserve it at times. And again, this season, not in Champions League. And I'll contemplate, why is he not in the Champions League squad? And if it's based on he's only taking like 5 attackers, I get it. Because for me, I would put Engamo right now above Chiesa in terms of attack. I think that if it's 5 attackers only, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike, Isak, and Engamo. Am I missing anyone?
No, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yes,
So
if it's 5 attackers only, then I get it. And the fact that Frimpong can play right. So I
think it's more to do with that. I think it's more to do with the Frimpong, because I think he probably looks at worst case scenario. Frimpong can go as a right winger, and he can rotate in with Salah if needs be. So I think in his thinking, he's gone, I've got players that can cover these positions anyway. So the only reason why I will take you is just because I like you instead of what we actually need. And I think he's kind of opted with that. And you're right, he should give Engamo Rio the opportunity to play. He's shown in preseason. He's shown, when he was given the minutes against Newcastle, that he's a talented footballer. And then you've got guys like Trey Nyoni as well, so talented. You kind of have to free up spaces there as well. And obviously, he made room for Isak. He had Isak coming in, so it's just like we're gonna have 2 strikers there, and then worst case, one of the midfielders can go on the wide areas if needs be. So yeah, I think he just lost out. I think he just lost out in it. But sometimes being too professional, you don't get your own way, do you? You don't really get your
Marc Guhei, he's a prime example, isn't it? You've got to pick up a fuss sometimes. You got to throw the toys out the pram a little bit. Isak. Speaking of throwing the toys out the pram, and Isak, is here. A long-waited summer for a player that wasn't for sale has finally joined the Reds. Deadline day.
Mm-hmm.
Like this deal, right? This deal got to the point where I was just bored of it in the end. It was a dream signing of mine. I did a stream back in February. I did one like 3 dream signings of this summer.
Right.
It's on our channel, still on our channel. I did Verts, one of mine, Isak and Rodrigo, my three dream signings this summer. Obviously, 2 of them coming up is madness for me. But Isak, I don't think it would ever have the ambition to do a sign like that. Even Verts, for example. But this summer, we've shown different ambition. I think, and I've said it a few times now, I think that the night of the parade and the day after, where they had a meal with John Henry and things, I think John Henry had a massive change of heart, lads, in that few days. I think he thought, you know what, I'm going to start putting my attention on to Liverpool a bit more now, because I don't think he's had his attention on Liverpool in recent years, and that's why we have dropped off. And people say, "Oh, we couldn't spend this." We've always been able to spend, we've just chosen not to spend. So this whole bollocks about not affording things is bollocks, because you've seen it all this summer now what we've spent. But I just think he's had a change of heart now, seen ambition, and now going towards the next few summers, we don't need to spend much. We just need to add 1 or 2 additions but you got to keep it refreshing. It. I'm not going to summer we just get 1 player or not getting any players at all. We've still got to keep it fresh. Like I said, Van Dijk's going to be moving on. Salah's going to be moving on at some point. So we need to look at their replacements. Mm-hmm. But are you happy about what's happened this summer? And it has been long overdue.
I'll take it back to what you said about the getting bored because of the Isak stuff, and a lot of people, obviously the guys that do to Savage, Jerry, and the guys and Cav and stuff like that, when they're on the channel, they were saying the exact same thing as well. They were just saying, they're bored and of this saga, because he was just non-stop news every day. He's not for sale. He's for sale. No, it's the right price. 200 million, 150 million. No, we don't want to sell him. So we're just all over the place. So I get what you mean in the sentiment around, it was getting boring. And then, what you said about the parade stuff, obviously I was there. So I've really got a feel of, what it means. And I think them being there as owners and just the people behind the scenes, I feel like they enjoyed it and they realized in that moment that how massive this is for a football club. And what it takes and what it means to the fans of Liverpool, that people was traveling from all over the world to be there just for maybe 20 seconds of seeing the players, just the 20, because the players don't stand there for, an hour and, in one position. It goes past. So kind of them seeing the support and the level of commitment the fans have for the club. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they thought, you know what, we need to have this a bit more. And we were speaking about it while we was at the parade. When they went by, and we were seeing obviously the photos and the pictures of, John Henry's wife and her and Gakpo. I think they had like a cigar in hand, and it was just them laughing, and you could see that there was something in that. We were just like, I feel like these guys are gonna do something crazy this summer, So we had that kind of feel as well. But obviously, did we expect Liverpool to go out there and break the world record twice for transfer fee? No, probably not. We've not been used to that as a football club, right? Seeing our club spend that type of money. And you're right, the money's always been there, but we've never executed it because, could be maybe, Jurgen Klopp didn't really want to kind of spend that type of money, or he believed he could have had solutions in the squad, those famous words. So maybe he just didn't feel that we needed that. But I feel like the owners and the manager now and the sporting director and then, Edwards, the guy looking after the football inside of Liverpool, they've kind of gone, no, we want to be back as one of the biggest teams in the world, not a stepping stone, not somewhere that, players come and they move on to other clubs. They want to be here, and this is the reason why they want to be here, because we are getting the best talents in the world, and we want to go and, win the Premier Leagues multiple times, not just a one-off and we go missing for a few years. Go and win the Champions League, consistently get into these finals. So I feel like as a club, we're moving in the right direction. You've seen us, investing in the academy now. We're going to invest 20 million in sorting that side of it out as well. You've seen them build the training complex and, getting the women's team, Melwood back and little things like that. And just seeing, adding like, buyback clauses in players that we're selling, not just letting them go now because we just, just trying to make them, just in case. Like, I feel like the future around Liverpool right now is getting so much better, in my opinion. And I feel like this part of it is we want to be a dominant force in football, not just someone that's just in and around it. And, okay, if they needed this and needed that, it's now. I feel like the ownership and the manager wants to put Liverpool in a position where there shouldn't be an excuse now. We should just go out there and dominate and win games. Obviously, other teams are going to be good as well, and we can't help that. And injuries are going to play a massive part with success. But yeah, and I feel like we're putting ourselves in the right position, man, as a football club.
I think this is what fans have always wanted, though, as well. Like this whole, I was very critical of FSG for a long, long time, and rightly so at the time, though. Cause, at the time, people were FSG out or whatever. FSG, I didn't like the FSG and FSG out sort of thing. I'd rather just have conversations about it, and they were rightly criticised and rightly worried about their ownership. And all we wanted was them to show a little bit more ambition off the pitch to ensure that the manager has everything to go forward. And there were times, years and years that we didn't. Simply, I felt Jurgen Klopp were let down. Is he partly to blame? Absolutely. He accepted that sort of thing. He started making excuses in interviews saying, look at our midfield, even though our midfield were clearly crumbling. It was quite clear to see that we needed midfield that summer, and I was adamant about that. So yeah, it's just nice to see everyone on the same page and everyone just acting like Liverpool should be acting like Liverpool are. Sorry, you can answer if you want.
No, go on, man.
It's John Henry.
No, it's good.
But yeah, it's just nice to see him acting like the club that we are.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest club in England, if alongside Man United, and one of the biggest clubs in the world, and that's what we should be doing. And this season, we now have an elite team. The whole team, Isak now, for me, I've said it for a while, is probably the most complete striker in world football. Obviously, they've got Harry Kane, Lewandowski, but them two are going on to the latter stage of the career. I think he's more complete than Haaland. He's not a better finisher than Haaland, but he's definitely more complete than Haaland. So we've got an elite number 9. We've got an elite number 10, one of the best in the world. We've got Mohamed Salah, for me, the best player in the world last season. Is there anything stopping us this season?
Injuries. I think that's the only thing that could potentially stop us this season is just injuries. I think the squad is built to have success. I think we've got enough attackers. We've got enough in midfield. The defense is fine, I think. Obviously would have loved to have had Marc Guhei there. I think the goalkeeping situation, fullback situations, I think we're in a great position to really go and win multiple trophies. And I think it's a must now. I think what we've got now is a must. There's no excuses. There's no Liverpool this. No, I think we're favourites and I think we'll go and win it. And in the Champions League as well, I think we have more than enough to go and win these games. Could we do with maybe an extra body, maybe? And I think we're probably maybe trying to maybe squeeze a bit more into the squad, but I feel like we've got more than enough to go and be successful this season.
What do you think, though? What do you think about positions? I'll say Guehi's going to be the one that we're looking at next year. Centre back, Konate could be leaving. But is there any other positions you think we're left short a little bit?
Maybe centre back. I think that's it. I would have loved to have someone as a backup to Salah or someone that's coming in to take his position. I'd rather have that person in now. In terms of waiting to take the mantelpiece off of him and then be that right winger. So if I'm just being picky, maybe a right winger and then getting Guhei in. I think that's
what do you think about DM?
Say that again.
What do you think about DM?
I don't think if the team defends properly as a unit, then I don't think we need one. But if we decide to just be this expansive team and everyone can run forward, then I think we need one. Because I think that's the only time you need an actual DM. Because I think we're screaming out for one, but I think that's more as the system. Because everyone just attacks and was just like, you're leaving Virgil and Konate and maybe one other to defend. Yeah, you would probably think you need a DM. But if everyone drops back in and we create that low block, then I don't know if you need one then.
And I think Gravenberch has done a fine job at DM. I mean, it just shows how good of a player he is, the fact that he can actually adjust to his game. He's still not a DM for me, not a proper DM. He's a number 8. I think if you get a defensive-minded player next to him, it'd get even better for me. I think we'll see that Ajax Gravenberch.
No, I think so as well, to be fair. But I love what he's done in the team, to be fair. And I think it goes unnoticed at times because a lot of times when we're watching the game, and not us, but I've seen like comments from people in general, and it's like, oh, what does he actually do? And I like, if you actually watch his game, the amount of interceptions, the blocks, the gaps he plugs as well for the team, and the amount of times he carries the ball into the thirds, the final thirds for us, is quite a lot in the game. But it goes unnoticed because probably you're not really watching him or what he's doing. But you take more notice if there's a transitional moment and you're like, oh, where's our DM? But I'm like, before that, he's had like 3 interceptions. There's 3 tackles that was already there as well. But it's just the one moments when, if a goal comes from it, then I think that's when everyone goes, nah, we need a DM. It doesn't look good and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, if we get a DM, I'd love to see what that Gravenberch looks like.
I would. Like a Wharton or a Belabor or a Stiller, someone like that can just sit there and pick up the pieces. I think Gravenberch will go to another level. And he's already at a different level as it is. A question for you guys. Who do you think wins the Premier League Golden Boot this season? Who is your surprise package team to watch this season? Good question. I like questions like this. Golden Boot. Right now, it's going to look like Haaland, doesn't it? Haaland's just scoring again, isn't he? But it depends how City do. If he's actually get into the team quicker, it's just how many games he's actually missed.
Yeah, well, TK's got a couple of goals, but then Haaland has the capability of scoring like 4 goals a game, don't he? So you just it's going to be difficult. It's definitely going to be difficult. Mo Salah hasn't started the season off well in terms of his numbers, so you don't know what that's going to look like. But
João Pedro?
Nah, I think Haaland. I think it'll be Haaland or one of our strikers, whether TK or Isak. I think those are the guys I think will get the golden boot this season.
I can't see past Haaland. Right now, I can't see past Haaland because of the way he started.
What has he got now so far in the season?
Is he on? It must be on. Is he on 2? He got 2.
Must be on more. He scored 4 the other day for Norway. So
he's
scored 4 there. Nah. I was like, he's proper. Like, yep. Next game, I'm ready to go again.
Let me look. He's on 3. Yeah, I thought he's got another one. Yeah, he's on 3 already. Out of 3 games.
Oh, okay. TK's on 2 then, so we're not too far off.
But but he's got Man United this weekend, so that's another 4 onto that.
You think so? I actually think United.
I think Man United will get a result against them.
I think they will. I think that Man United will.
I think I don't want to see it, but it's one of them games, isn't it? You can't lose as a Liverpool fan in that game. If City drop points, City drop points. If Man United lose, it's Man United losing. I don't give a shit. Like, to be honest, I'd rather City win at the moment because City right now don't look anywhere near what City were 3 years ago. I mean, you've got Pep Linder's in charge now, so it's intensity and all that.
I need them all to drop points, man. These are the moments in the season where I'm just like, the more these guys drop points, the better it is for Liverpool.
What about Gyökeres? I think he's got a chance. He's a bagman.
Yeah.
I think people get dissing Gyökeres and forgetting what Gyökeres actually is. I think people think, oh, he's the best. He's just a bagsman.
Listen, if he gets the opportunity in front of goal, do I expect him to put the ball away? 110%. But this is the Premier League, and he's realizing that so quickly. Apart from the gift they gave him the other day and gave him a penalty, he would technically be on one goal, really. And he hasn't performed well. Liverpool, Konate had him in the back pocket, socks, shin pads. He just had he had not even a chance against us. So yeah, I don't know. I think the lower teams you probably get opportunities to score goals, but I think against the top teams he'll probably struggle to find the back of the net because they won't give him a yard. I don't think.
So we're also looking at Robertson replacement as a backup for Kirkes. I think Robertson will stay for a while now. He's vice captain as well now, so I think he'll stay for at least another 2-3 years for me. But we've also got who's that youngster who got out now, left back. She's gone on loan this season.
Who went out?
I can't think of his name. Don't know why. He went on loan, didn't he?
Yeah,
this season. But yeah,
Kirkes.
No,
not Kirkes. Tsimikas, you mean?
No, not Tsimikas. I'm thinking like a youngster. Where the youngster's gone out on loan as well. He's seen as like the backup
the next
behind
one.
that. Do you think it's going to be a surprise package team this season to watch? Well, right now it's. I think Bournemouth's been quite surprising how good.
I really like Bournemouth
because of how many players have lost. Especially they've lost the whole defense and the keeper.
I think they're 100% they'll be. Do you know the other one as well? I think Leeds as well. I don't know. I'm always fascinated by what they kind of do when they're in the Premier League. I think from Bielsa's time when they just wanted to play this expansive man-to-man football, but they just couldn't find a way to kind of stay in the Prem. But I'm interested to see what they do as well.
So home games, isn't it? Ellen Road. You don't want to play Ellen Road on a night time. It's a different level. It's a different level. Owen Beck is the player I'm thinking of. There you go. Owen Beck.
Yeah. Reminds me he's got a bit about him, doesn't he, Owen Beck?
Yeah. So Leeds away. When do we play Leeds? Do we have them at night time? Has that been decided yet?
Yeah, all the games should be, but they're always subject to change depending.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It all depends on what is it, doesn't it? All depends on things. So we've got Burnley this weekend and Burnley this weekend. Then we've got Champions League. It's come that quick. I can't believe Champions League's here already. It's come really quick. It feels like it's like the season only just started and Champions League's here already. Atletico Madrid in Champions League. Then we've got Everton in the league. Then we've got Southampton in the cup, and then we've got a bad week that week. We've got 3 away games in a row. We've got Crystal Palace away, Galatasaray away, and Chelsea away.
I was looking at the Premier League games as well. For some reason, I felt like a lot of and I don't know if they're going to be subject to change, right? But it feels like there's a lot of our games at like 3 o'clock as well. They've put us down, so a lot of our games won't be on TV.
That can't be right. They must have changed it.
Honestly, I'll definitely go and check again. But I remember because I was doing schedules for games and stuff like that. But it felt like that. But yeah, we've got Burnley, right? Liverpool need to make sure we kick that off with a victory as well, because look, international break is now done and dusted. We're top of the Premier League. I think we're 2 points off Chelsea at the moment, 3 off Arsenal. So we have to add the pressure on and keep winning these type of games, man. Look, can they cause us a bit of problem? I think not really, but I think Liverpool are their own problem. Sometimes we get a bit bored at times and we just somehow just give up silly little goals.
Complacency.
I promise you, with teams, when Liverpool play these teams, I can never see where their goals are going to come from. Even when we play the top teams, it's always when I think Liverpool are in a good position. I'm like, no, we've got 5v2, and I'm like, yeah, Liverpool should deal with this. They will score. And the moment when it's like 1v, they're on the counter attack and they got more, they never score. And if it's not that, it's Liverpool clearing the ball, but we're kicking it off each other and It's just stuff like that.
You think of the Southampton game last year? I'm thinking of the Southampton game last year.
Yeah.
Unless we rely on their keeper giving 2 mistakes, we shouldn't have won that game.
There was even a moment. Even there was one against Arsenal as well when we dropped back, and I think Sobo wins the ball. But I think he was like Odegaard, and I can't remember. It might have been Madueke. But we surrounded them, and it was just those two there. But Sobo won it. He kicked it, and it ricocheted off of someone, and it landed back to Madueke. And that's when, I don't know if you remember, but I think he was like Kirkes. Like Madueke tried to jump on his back, and Kirkes was trying to shield the ball. And I was like, there's like 6 of us versus 2. How did we end up them nearly getting an opportunity on goal in that moment? So, yeah, man, it's just Liverpool's way, isn't it?
It's proper lax. So Arsenal got Forest tomorrow after kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm honest, I can't see Forest getting a result in that. If I'm honest, just because Ange's first game, it's too open for me. Ange plays too much of open football. I think Arsenal win that. Like you said, Burnley on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a banana. It doesn't look like a banana skin, but it could easily be with complacency. It was Burnley that ended our unbeaten run at home a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Games unbeaten at home. Burnley that beat us at home. It's not Sam Allardyce. Not Sam Allardyce. It's not Sean Dyche's Burnley, but it's still
no. It's Scott Parker's Burnley.
Yeah, I still like. But I think they're better Burnley now. But it's just one of them games where if you take your eye off the ball a little bit away at Turf Moor, you get punished. We've got to make a statement on Sunday. I want a better performance for number 1.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I 100% agree. I think our performance level hasn't been great. I think Arsenal was probably the closest we've come to having everything work well. The attack was okay, and the midfield was doing their job, and the defense was really, really solid in the game. So I think the Newcastle one, I think we got really complacent in that one to throw away 2 goals. Did the same thing against Bournemouth as well. So I feel like we need to put everything together. In these type of games, I need like 3 to 4 and 5. I need that Liverpool to come out where people are just like, oh, okay, all right, now we understand. But there's no more excuses for us, to be fair. Obviously, I don't speak to a lot of rivals when it comes to Liverpool and what they think. And, when everyone goes, we must. I always say we must because of the team we have and because of the club we are. We're a massive club, and rightly so. We should be trying to go and, beat these teams. And not only that, batter these teams when we play them. And you're right about the complacency, man. We need to really, really fix up and not be complacent in these type of games. Because you can I don't think we'd lose, but I think it's like a draw could happen because we just concede a sloppy goal.
Yeah. I think we ain't been ruthless really in the slot by the Tottenham game.
Yeah, that was really ruthless.
That's the only ruthlessness I've seen from Slot. I need to see that Jurgen Klopp ruthlessness. And I think that's down to Slot a lot. I think he tries to overplay games. And there's so many times I saw it last season.
Yeah.
Frustrated I can't lie. It really frustrated me. There were times when we were on counterattacks and we turned back round, went back again. And it's like...
Thank you for seeing it.
It's frustrating. It's like, why... it makes no sense. And this is why teams are coming back against us, because we're allowing them to come back against us. It's happened 3 times this season already. 2-0 ups, 2-2s. 3 times. Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle. Because we don't finish teams off because we're overplaying it. That's what we're doing. Slot's a big part of this, and Pep Guardiola is a massive reason for this. This is why Jack Grealish can't play the way he did at Man City. Phil Foden's been held back because they don't let players play football anymore. And I think it's become it's become over coaches football. And you'll know, and you're about the same age as me. We've grown up in the best generation of football.
Yeah.
We saw the 2000s, we saw the 90s and 2000s. That's where footballs were ballers. But now I think it's all about coaches and about too many tactics. But I'm finally seeing, I'm glad to see in recent years, last 2 years, we're starting to see ballers coming through again. Gamora, let him play, like Sadue, Jamal, people like that are coming through. But again, I do worry slightly on Slot and his overplaying. Hopefully, I get his tactics. I understand it, keeping the ball as much as we can. But I think there's times where you just got to go, that there's a pass on there. You don't need to come back. You don't need to listen to instructions all the time. Play that pass. Beat that man.
I agree. And I thank you for seeing it as well. Because sometimes when we mention it, my channel, and people are like, you just, I mean, there's a negativity there. It's not, you can see these, and they're not even the massive things. They're very small things, but if we just fix this is like 3, 4, 5, 6 nils we're talking about here, not just these 2 nils, and then we're overplaying in what you say. So I totally agree what you mean. I hate the fact that when we go on some of these counter attacks or just attacking, and then we turn back and allow the team to regroup and set back into their shape, and then we keep it. And I get it. We got 2 goals up. You're like, we don't really need to risk it. I understand, but these are the reasons why these teams are coming back, because they still feel they're in the game. What we need to do in those moments is go, right, we're 2-0 up. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be naive. But if we're outnumbered them here, can we just try and go out the system for a second and try and get that 3rd goal instead of going, now we're 2-0 up, let's kind of be calm. And I think we slightly did that against Newcastle as well, where we're like, they're down to 10. Normally you'd watch a team, and the old Liverpool would have put them through the sword in that, being 10 men down. That game could have ended up a higher score, and their backs against the wall, and maybe they get 1 or 2 counter attacks, because that would kind of happen, when you're trying to push as many people forward. But it just feels like we're choosing the wrong moments when to push people forward. It feels like, when they come back in the game, now we're trying to push a lot. And I'm like, no, just
like reaction.
Just
rather than being proactive. Yeah.
And we've got players that tend to do that too much. And I'm like, no, just play it to them in those half spaces. Let them turn and travel and go and be free, as you said. And I agree with you about, we grew up in a generation of actual footballers. And I know obviously there's some young bloods watching probably going, shut up, you old heads, or whatever. I listen, I understand. But to be fair, if you guys watch football when we watch football, you guys would probably have enjoyed it a lot more than what it is now. It's a lot too much more around the system, too much about covering for players and stuff like that. Back then, if you're a centre-back pair, you had to do your job. If you're a fullback, do your job. There was no system to protect you. If you're a striker, do your job. If you're a centre midfielders in 4-4-2s, do your job. If you're a winger, do your job. But now the system, helps massively with those kind of things. So, I'm with you, man.
And it is something to worry about. It is honest worries here, because at the end of the day, we've got 3 late winners. We can't rely on 3 late winners every single week.
And that Mo guy said that in the
games, we've got away with him.
I can't remember his first name, but it was Mo something, the one that is always in the press conference, and he mentioned that today.
I've said already on his channel, he's one of the best ones in there. He has the proper,
because he does, and he mentioned it. He's like, Liverpool hasn't created clear-cut chances this season. In terms of, but people are like, well, you've scored the most goals, so clearly you must have. And then he broke it down and he said, no, in these games, it was more of a ricochet, ball come out, Chiesa finished. Mo Salah, his goal, he chased down against Bournemouth. He chased down a loose ball to go and score his one. Soboslai was a free kick. Ekitike, against Palace, in the Community Shield was more a good little turn and finish. And even the one that he scored against Bournemouth, it was more of a ricochet, landed back to him, and then he... So we haven't really, and I was like, yeah, he's right. We haven't really created clear-cut opportunities. And 9 times out of 10, we have the ability to do so. And then we decide to cut back or turn around, and the overlap is on, and we go, now we're not going to do the overlap. And like, if you give it to the guys making those overlaps, it opens up the box for a better chance here. But we go, no, we're going to cut inside. And I'm just like, okay, so we're not gonna just play the numbers here. And I think that's where Man City is really good, and that's why they beat a lot of teams like 4-5 and 6-0, because they will give the overlap, they will give the cutback, they will play those 1-2s in the box and get the shot away. But where with us, it feels like we're trying to not score the perfect goal, but we're like, I don't know, we're like, we have to score that type of player's goal. Like Mo Salah has to cut in and curve it. Gakpo has to cut in and curve it. That's the way I feel like we play. Instead of going, no, overlap, cut it back, tap in. So,
and it makes more sense to do that more now with a proper number 9 in Ekitike or Isak.
Exactly.
They're going to make the runs. Last year, understandable, because Diaz isn't going to make those number 9 runs.
Yeah.
But now we've got number 9. They're going to be in the 6-yard box most of the time, especially the fullback. We've got like, same with like people like what's going on with Kirkers, because we're not playing Kirkers right. The Kirkers that we're playing right now is not the Kirkers we bought. We bought Kirkers to be bombing up and down that wing. Why is he coming inside to a centre back position?
I don't have an answer for you for that. I
That's what
thought that anyway.
So, what we're doing here, and
Yeah, we bought
it's
overlapping
gonna cost us.
fullbacks to tuck in.
We are favourites. We are favourites, and
Mhm.
what you said earlier is going to cost us. Like injuries might cost us, but I think that way of play is also going to cost us. That conservative play, because my dad always used to tell me the best line of defense is attack. Go score more goals.
And
We're going to
that's what we did
defend.
on the club, innit? We always,
Yeah.
even like Brendan Rodgers as well. You knew we would concede, but we'd always score a lot of goals
Well,
as well.
the reason why I didn't lean the league on the Rodgers because we didn't have the personnel in defence. That's all that was. If we had a Van Dijk in defence and Konate next to him with Robertson and Trent or Robertson or whoever right back, would have won the league under Brendan Rodgers. It wasn't the fact that it wasn't the tactics as a whole. It was the tactics in a way because he shouldn't have gone all out attack because he didn't have a defense, but he had no choice but to go all out attack because we didn't have a
And
defense.
a lot of teams feared us as well. The way we was
Yeah.
playing there, it was just like,
And we're
so worried. Yeah.
Well, that team
That's
we
true.
beat someone like they were was it Cardiff? We got 4-0 up after like 20 minutes or something at once. We absolutely smashed Cardiff in like the first 20 minutes, and we're like, it's game over, it's done.
Yeah.
But
then you can keep the ball. Then you can
then
do whatever.
do what Von does, whatever you want to do. Play, Brazilian football. Teams don't usually score well goals or worlders against us. It tends to be daft mistakes on our part. I think we just overplay football. And I said that for a while. We did it in pre-season. This is why. Who was it? Mamardashvili passed it out, didn't he? Overplaying the passes. I just don't understand why we try over. And I think every team tries to overplay in the passes, don't they, at the back? And this is where goals come from. It's just stupid for me. Good evening, Nige. How you doing, mate? How are you doing? How many assists do you think Salah gets this season, said Nige? Now we've got Isak. He gets quite a few, but he hasn't started the season incredibly well, has he? He scrounged an assist. I'll say that against Newcastle.
I would not give him that as an assist.
That is Soboslai's
the letter of the law.
They should be giving that to Soboslai. There should be. Everyone's got Salah in the FPL. I haven't put him in the FPL for the first time in like years because of the expense of him. And I was pissed off the fact that he got the assist for that. And I'm thinking, that's Soboslai every day of the week.
I've got him in mind, to be fair, but yeah, that's the intelligence of Sobo there, because Salah played it into Sobo, not into Rio.
Yeah. So, should do something about that.
Yeah, it's always going to be the last player that left their feet is going to get the assist, isn't it? So
better players in 80s and 90s. I think 80s up to 2000s better players. I just think it was more based on playing football. Now it's just more about being an athlete and over coaching. There's ballers out there, but I think they're held back by coaches. For me personally, I think football can be saved in terms of that. Like I said, there's ballers coming through. The youngsters are coming through now. Yamal, let him play. Dewey, let him play. Real Madrid, let him play. Let these players play. And the professionals for a reason. You just got to let them play.
I think these guys will get the benefit maybe in the next 10 years, because I think a lot of the coaches that's come through now or are in the game, 90% of them have come from the school of Pep Guardiola. So those talented players are gonna suffer, because it's about possession, it's about keeping the ball moving, it's about 1-2s, but then you've got the exceptions, in terms of the Hansi Flick and the Luis Enrique's, that are gonna allow the players to go and express themselves and go and play the way you should play and enjoy the game instead of it being rigid. But there's too much money in the game now. It's all about getting the W's. Everything else can wait. So, yeah, until the Peps of these world retire, and then the Hansi Flicks and the Luis Enrique get those managers that's coming through. Go, those are the two that's when it's gonna then feeds into the other managers coming through, and then they're gonna have these players where they're gonna allow them to express themselves.
I like a question from John. So everyone fit ends. So who's your first choice lineup? I presume we've probably got the same idea, to be honest.
I think keep the back line the same. I think actually no, not keep it the same from the last game. I think I would put Bradley in for this one. I know Soboslai's put in 2 really, really good performances, but we've got off right backs now fit. Time to go back in the midfield, mate. Thank you for the services for those 2 games, but our 2 right backs are fit. Kirkes, I think deserves to keep his position. He had a really good game for me against Arsenal. I think Virgil and Konate starts at the back, Alisson in goal. The double pivot, however, though, I want to see is Szoboszlai and Gravenberch.
Yeah,
it's not a particular particular reason where I'm going. I want to show you guys how and the reasons why. It's more I look at their two skill sets, and I remember the game against Atletico Club or Atletico Bilbao, and I just remembered those two in the center of our in midfield. The double pivot it worked. It just felt seamless. It just felt like they were on the same page, and we had legs, but we also had the defensive nous in there. We had that hunger, but we also had that quick football, and it felt like that worked for me. That's what, and I'm sure many people are going to have their own combination. Florian Wirtz in the 10. Salah, even though he's not performing, you got one more game, my guy, and then I might throw you on the bench on the right. I think Cody keeps his position on the left, and then Ekatike, I think, up front, because I think Isak will get minutes, but I think he needs time to get up to speed in terms of the way. But that's my starting 11.
I agree with that. And even before like the Curtis Jones injury things, I've seen online people saying, "Oh, keep Szoboszlai at 10, he's not doing anything wrong." But you want players playing in their positions.
Yeah. And
then when Conor Bradley's back, when Frimpong's back, those two play right back. It's as simple as that. Yeah. I'm not dropping Szoboszlai either. He's playing too good at the moment.
Can't drop him.
McAllister's got fitness issues at the moment anyway. So it's an easy swap for me. It's simple for Gravenberch and Szoboszlai to be in that midfield. And it stays like that until it should always be the ones that are playing well should be in there.
Yeah,
playing well, then it's Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. If Gravenberch isn't playing well, it's Szoboszlai and McAllister. That's how it should be. Wirtz isn't playing well. Wirtz needs to pick up this week. Otherwise, for me, I'd drop him and put Maka at 10.
I'm putting the Maka in, and I think that's a fair point. I think you're right. If you're not, if you're not performing, I think that you shouldn't just be guaranteed a spot. I feel like the team is building into such a special team, and there's going to be players pushing for positions. I don't want to see our team go, oh, because it's Mo Salah, he has to play. No, if he's not performing, take him out, put someone else in there. Yeah. If and it goes for everyone within the team. There shouldn't be no special treatment for anyone. It doesn't mean that they're not great. It doesn't mean that they're not the best or whatever. But if we want our team to be successful and want our team to get, it has to show. If you're performing, you play. If you're not, then the next person will come in. And I think that will give fire in the belly for everyone else as well, because they'll be like, I don't want to lose my spot, so I've got to go and perform when I get the opportunity back in the team. And I feel like that's what we have to do. The old Liverpool would be play the guys that, but if we're trying to build this super team, then some of our favourites are going to have to hold the bench at times.
Yeah, and Salah needs to improve. Simple as that. It can't carry players on the pitch. We can't do it. Potts, Damon, and I'm guessing you mean player of the season there now.
Yeah.
Player of the season. I think if we win the league, I think it'd be Virgil.
It's hard for me because I think that his work went unnoticed last season, even though Mo got the goals and the assists. But Virgil was really, really good last season. But I always feel like they're always going to give it to the guy that, it
is, but
the headliners. They'll give it to the headliners.
I was going to have that season again. I don't think Isak's starting a little bit too late. Now he's got Ekatike and Isak. Potentially could be one of them. Could be Wirtz, but Wirtz hasn't started well. I think Virgil's the one that would be one that if we win the league, it's because of him. For me, personally.
Listen, the season has started off and he's probably been one of the standouts. Him, Sobo has been the standouts in terms of very, very good performances in the first couple of games. But obviously we got a long season ahead, so Wirtz might come good and he's a difference maker in the big games, and Salah will, go back to doing Salah stuff. But if one of our strikers score over 20 goals and they're, when they're just hitting the headlines every week, we're like, oh, he scored again, oh, he's got 2, he's got a hat trick. I feel like one of them will just get it, even if Virgil will have an amazing season as well.
It's a shame, isn't it? Same with Alisson Becker. He goes on. Me and Naj spoke about this tonight actually about Alisson Becker going unnoticed. Like he's only noticed when he makes like 5 unbelievable saves, like against PSG. But PSG won his only good game last season. There's games where he makes unbelievable saves. He did against Arsenal, a couple of good saves against Arsenal. I think for me right now in terms of the season so far, I say about 5 players have played well.
Yeah,
which is
you're right. Alisson does need. Yeah, you're right. I think Alisson does need a bit more credit, man. Even though we give it to him, but I feel like they let him down sometimes, and I'm like, I feel sorry for him. So I'm like, whenever you guys need him, he comes up trumps. But when he needs you guys to give him a clean sheet, you don't turn up for him. You don't.
No. It's like another one-on-one. Like another one-on-one. The guy makes one-on-one saves on a regular basis, a few a game and all. Like. But he'll never get the headlines. He got 1 headline last year, and that was PSG. That's because he had fucking pull like 5, 6 saves out. but me and I said tonight, if like a goal, a striker, they have a poor game, they get the winner last minute, and they get all the headlines.
Yep, makes no sense.
So we're talking about like what's the hardest position on the pitch. And I remember seeing a TikTok about it the other day saying, "Oh, it's the keeper position." I think it's probably the toughest mentally in terms of like if you make a mistake, it costs your team. You don't get the praise when I think it is one of the hardest, but I still think midfielder is probably the hardest place on the pitch because you need to be able to do everything. Do you think Isak can get 25 league goals? I think he can as well, mate. I think he can as well. It depends when he starts playing, which I think will be October time. But yeah, that's the end of Red Zone today. Myself and Enz will be on here weekly for Red Zone, a special Red Zone episode. So get involved onto the Enz's channel. Go to his channel right now, Football of Enz on his channel. Get across, subscribe, and like his videos as well. And get involved in the chats when he's live as well. He's live. You're pretty much live every day, like me, aren't you?
Every day. Every day.
It's a grind. This YouTube thing is a grind. People don't understand how hard it is, but it is. But we're getting there. Move forward and on to Sunday for Liverpool's game against Burnley. I don't know who would be live tomorrow, but I'm sure someone will be doing some content on our channel tomorrow. I think I might be doing some content in the morning, so make sure you do tune in for that. But Sunday, I've got a watch along on Sunday as well, so make sure you do tune into that one as well and get across the ends, like I said. And thank you for watching tonight, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you join us back next week for myself and Ends for Red Zone. Thank you for watching tonight, guys.